Cool. When you're good. If you're a Trump supporter, hop up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to debate with you. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And as always, you're looking for some people to debate. If you're over on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. We are 74 days left until the midterms. 74 days until the midterms. I repeat, 74 days until the midterms. One liberal versus MAGA. 74 days until midterms. Trump live debates. Let's see if we get any push. The last 2 days we've had a pretty good push, so I'm not too scared. Cool, there we go. Let's pull up the YouTube chat. Everything should be working. Everything's working. Everything's working. Is it? Yep, everything's working. All working good. Everything's working. Is it? Yep, everything's working. All working good. Everything's working. Is it? Yep, everything's working. All working good. Everything's working. Is it? Yep, everything's working. All working good. Well, hold on. Everything's working. Is it? Yep, everything's working. All working good. Well, hold on. Everything's working. Is it? Yep, everything's working. All working good. Well, hold on. Everything's working. Is it? Yep, everything's working. All working good. Well, hold on. He's working. Is it? Yep. He's working. All working good. Have a conversation with the internet as always. You're looking for people to debate. Quite frankly. All working good. Quite frankly. Conversation with the internet as always. You're looking for people to debate. Quite frankly.
How's it going? You said what?
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, but I'm not MAGA. I'm just a Republican.
How's it going? Why do you support Trump?
You said what?
Are you a Trump supporter?
He's a Republican. Yeah, but I'm not MAGA. I'm just a Democrat.
He's the opposite.
You said what?
Are you a Trump supporter?
Okay. He's a Republican. Yeah, but I'm not MAGA. I'm just a Democrat.
He's the opposite. He's pro-constitution, pro-2A. Donald Trump is like against all living core.
Yeah, but I'm not MAGA. I'm just a Democrat.
He's the opposite. He's pro-constitution.
Damn, he randomly went against pro to yeah, shit. He wants a smaller government. I don't know how he wants. Damn, he randomly went against pro to yeah, shit. He wants a smaller government. I don't know how he wants. Damn, he randomly went against pro to
the Second Amendment. He violated
a smaller government. I don't know how he wants.
Individuals must firearm. He violated the Second Amendment.
No, that's real. That should be like that's more.
So you're not a Republican.
No, that's real. That should be like that's more.
So you're not a Republican.
No, that's real. That should be like that's more.
We have to Ethan. So you're not a Republican.
You already know, buddy.
We have to Ethan. Who are you? Are you a Trump supporter? Why do you support?
You already know, buddy.
We have to Ethan.
We've previously talked, and you know that.
Why do you support Trump? You are. Why do you support Trump?
We've previously talked about Trump because he's better for America than most people, and I don't like the liberal ideology that's happening today in the United States. Better for America than most people, and I don't like the liberal ideology that's happening today in the United States. Better for America than most people, and I don't like the liberal ideology that's happening today.
Like, how is he a better president than Arizona?
Lower immigration, and even more like
Donald Trump is he a better doctor than Arizona in the country?
lower immigration, and even more like explanation on that statement. Lower immigration, illegal immigration, explanation on that statement. Illegal immigration,
legal status of 1.6 million people, meaning that legal like people who are legally allowed to be here are now illegally here. 6 million people, meaning legal status legal like people who are legally allowed to be here are now illegally here. Compare that to the legal status under Biden was 4 years. Obviously, Dr. School is trajectory of increasing the Dr. Biden tree 4 years. Obviously, the status of trajectory of increasing the Dr. Biden tree, but that's still legal status. That's not illegal. The claim that I made was Donald Trump is causing more undocumented entry, but that's still legal. That's not illegal. The claim that I made was Donald Trump is causing more undocumented. My source, and I
That's not what I was saying whatsoever. He's not allowing mass immigration to happen, mass illegal immigration.
Would you rather?
That's not what I was saying whatsoever. He's not allowing mass immigration to happen, mass illegal immigration for Americans. And he's deporting legal status, and he's deporting mass illegal immigration to happen. So how does that mean for Americans? And he's deporting legal status, and he's deporting mass illegal immigration to happen. So and then he does what? And he's deporting legal status, and he's deporting. He's not allowing in. So and then he does what? And then he
don't have the data for that.
I don't think you understand. He's not allowing in. So
they're refusing to release the data.
I don't think you understand.
But the name that I made refused not to release the data in the lab. The fact that he's created more documented evidence. But the name that I made refused not to release the data in the lab. The fact that he's created more like an individual that doesn't know the name that I made refused not to release the data.
And remember our last discussion, you said black people or like minorities. Okay, and remember our last time we discussed, you said African Americans deserve reparations or like minorities. Okay, and remember our last time we discussed, you said do you stand by that or like minorities? Okay, because you're not even addressing my point. I'm saying illegal entry because you're not even addressing my point. I'm saying illegal entry. More funding towards more funding more I would say I'm saying illegal. I would say more funding towards more funding more. Like you're a grown man, bro. Chill out. I would say more. I'd say more funding more. Like you're a grown man, bro. Chill out. I would say more. More funding more throughout the border patrol.
More funding for border patrol and ICE. That doesn't sound
and creating over 200 walls on the southern border. And creating over 200
When was that built? When was that built? In his first term, right?
In his first term. So, but he's
was there a massive undocumented immigrants? When was that divided? When was that built? In his first term, right?
In his first term. So,
was the wall built under a massive undocumented immigrants?
Yeah, but that was
you fucking idiot.
That's because of
oh my god! What a win! What a blunder! What a idiot!
I create a slide gate around my house, and then I open that gate, and then I open just tell me no, and then I open that gate, and then you're not even addressing my point. Mass immigration, tell me no, and then I open that
immigration because you built the wall. 5 seconds later, massive immigration.
These external actions he's done. The wall benefits parental legal external actions that he's done. I mean, you're not even trying to use logic to beat it. You're just trying to use I mean, you're not even trying to use logic to beat it. You're just trying to like 30. I mean, you're not even trying to use it to beat it. You're just like let's go on the reparation. Let's go on the reparation.
You made a point even though in both scenarios there was a wall built. One scenario you're saying that prevented undocumented deportation, even though the other scenario not because of the wall built. One scenario so I would like to know these external factors that make you believe that even though the wall was built, there's still more undocumented entry into the country. Again, that's a clear contradiction that even though the wall is built into any still more factors, and that contradiction doesn't help. Again, that's a clear contradiction that even though the wall is built. Make sure you guys are double tap that phone can repost live.
In Mexico, we ended the term, the thing, remain in Mexico,
in Mexico, has nothing to do with undocumented entry.
the term, the thing, remain in Mexico,
Speaking is legal, has nothing to do with undocumented
construction on the wall, on the thing. He narrowed ice qualities and wasn't also construction
I would just show him just 2 points. The first point, asylum is legal, so that's not a quiet period. I would just show him just 2 points. The first asylum seeking is legal, so that has nothing to do with undocumented entry. Second, quiet against 2 points. The first asylum seeking is legal, so that has nothing to do with undocumented entry. Quiet
Get that fucking shit stain off the
True, but in this scenario, his first team, the same exact way, and you're saying that now the wall is a factor but prior on the same exact way, and you're saying that now the factor that's so therefore, under the doesn't is upheld the fact that in one scenario the wall prevents is the other. So therefore, it does because there's some external factors you can't name, and the ones you do name can also be proven wrong because you're a low IQ individual that mentioned nothing.
You're just like an idiot, bro. You're just like an idiot, bro. I gave you entering halting construction around.
I already explained how that doesn't walk the point.
You're just like an idiot, bro. I gave you entering
You mentioned 200 miles an hour being built in the first place. You mentioned that the wall is still built entering now. 200 miles an hour was built under Biden. Okay, so if in one scenario it doesn't, and the other scenario it does, that is now, and you said the wall was built external factors, this is not external factors. This is just the same amount of the same length of the wall.
I mean, you're like getting
what is the exact external factor that in one scenario causes what is the other doesn't? Otherwise, right now you just look like a low IQ individual.
ending the remaining Mexico Act. But like, listen, ending maybe so that illegal illegally entering the maybe so that
Why are you talking about asylum seekers? We're talking about illegal entry. Asylum seekers are not asylum seekers illegal. They are documented. They will be documented. Therefore, there's nothing to do. Seekers are not asylum seekers illegal. They are documented. They will be documented. There's nothing to do.
The asylum, the remaining Mexican.
We're not talking about asylum seekers.
Listen for like 2 seconds.
We're not talking about that's this is a pivot. We're not talking about asylum seekers.
You're not able to like accept 2 seconds of discussion. I think you're like, I think it's like a problem with your brain. But so you're not able to like accept you can have this discussion. I think you're talking about asylum seekers or brain attacks and like yeah, I think sometimes you can have this.
We're not talking about asylum seekers. We're talking about asylum brain attacks and
asylum seekers. So yeah, we don't have that position. Yeah, amount of time. And so whether these questions have positions, on their request could be answered. Is that shit on your request could be answered? Is that shit, bro? Like, someone gives like a point and then you like, is that shit, bro? Like, someone gives you ended asylum and then it's like, so people didn't have to wait for you to be answered or ended asylum and then so they automatically answer, which is a cause of mass migration. And my first claim was because mathematics not legal immigration is a cause of mass migration. And my first claim was because mathematics not legal immigration for people to be viewed. Allows mass migration to happen. And so people just automatically answer people to answer asylum and Trump's administration to happen. Remove that ability for your just automatically asylum people to answer asylum and Trump's administration to happen. Remove that ability for your because they didn't have another asylum. Okay, so
no, I'm gonna do what you said. I'm gonna address what you said. Let's say I'm gonna grab what you're saying. I have a question. Or deny what you were saying. Okay, I need to repeat what you're saying. The question is deny what Joe Biden did external factors that Joe Biden did caused a massive surge of undocumented entry. True or false that Joe Biden. If you need me to repeat the claim, I will repeat the claim. Okay, the same true or false. Okay, a one-word answer. I don't want anything else from you. You want these long rants. Okay, true or false. External factors that Joe Biden created caused undocumented long rants. True or false. External factors. Okay, what are those external factors that Joe Biden created that caused undocumented entry? What are those external factors that Joe Biden created that has nothing to do with him causing undocumented entry? Because in the hypothetical, in the scenario that you presented, the border wall was built the exact same miles as in the Biden administration, as well as in the Trump second administration. So that's not applicable, and that is a contradiction. So find the external factor that Joe Biden created. No, and that is a contradiction.
So let's say you were voting on your
I like the external factor.
because there was like
The external factor.
so let's say you're building the wall, you beat like 90%, and you left a little hole that 10% wasn't done. And you gave your
I'm gonna mute you.
you beat like
You cannot stay on track.
and you left
I've
a
already
little hole that
disclosed the claim
10%
we're all
wasn't
not being
done.
dealt.
And you gave
I muted you because you are not staying on track. And if you continue to go off track, I will keep muting you. I muted you. You made a pause. You are not staying on track. External factors that Joe Biden created cause more undocumented entry. I would like you to substantiate that positive claim that Joe Biden's evidence. What were those external factors? To substantiate that positive claim. Explain to me those external factors. Were those people saying let him talk? No, not if he's gonna move on or move the goalpost or pivot. We don't do that here. We don't do that. Feel free to unmute and tell me the external factors. And it's not the border wall, because in both scenarios, it was the same amount that was external factors. Still a contradiction. Because in both scenarios, you have to come back and ask the same amount that was external factors. Still a contradiction. Because in both scenarios, you have to come back and ask the same amount that was external factors. Still a contradiction.
I mean, I see the point. The external factor is narrowing into protection. I see the point. And he narrowed, and the external factor is narrowing into protection. And he narrowed into protection like ICE. Machine into protection like ICE. When he narrowed into protection like ICE. Machine into protection like ICE. Source protection like ICE.
Again, ICE is internal, not external. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a low IQ individual that knows nothing. ICE is debating is for you. Okay, I'm your better. If you want teaching, if you want to be a taught, ICE is debating this is a debate, not a teaching, not a lesson. Okay, if you want teaching, if you want a teacher, I'm your better. Taught, ICE is not ICE is internal, not a lesson. Support. If you want teaching, if you want a teacher, I'm your better. ICE is not ICE is internal, not a lesson. Support. If you want teaching, if you want a teacher, I'm your better. ICE is not ICE is internal, not a lesson.
Guidelines for the wait.
I keep messing up on YouTube. Hold on, pause. I keep messing up on YouTube. Y'all, YouTube, I'm so sorry. Yesterday and the day before yesterday, I was muted. You guys couldn't hear me. Today, my live stream, both on TikTok and YouTube, were playing because I have them both pulled up. I just muted my YouTube live stream, so it should be fixed. Again, I deeply apologize about that. What's your source, buddy?
I put it in chat. Guidelines for the enforcement.
Read it.
Guidelines for the enforcement of civil immigration law. Mandamorian. Issued September 30th, 2021. And you're really not getting.
What does it say? What was this memorandum saying? What is the memorandum saying?
It was an AI breakdown of the thing. That's where I got the source from.
Yeah,
Yo,
this
you're
just
fucking
says
ugly as shit.
this just says quote unquote the memorandum issued on September 30th, 2021 to U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement provides guidance for the apprehensions and removal of non-citizens. In the memo, Mayorkas points out that in the United States there are more than 11 million undocumented immigrants or removable non-citizens. A majority of the quote unquote the majority of more than 11 million undocumented immigrants or otherwise removable non-citizens in the United States have been contributing members of our communities across the country for years. The fact that an individual's removable non-citizen will not alone be the basis of enforcement action against them. Therefore, the memo states that it is necessary to exercise for the first time. This is just what like Mayorkas is saying. Where's the memo? Can you like give me the source where the memo is?
It was an AI. It was an AI summary.
I don't like AI. We don't use AI here. You have to like actually tell me.
Why don't you use AI there?
Because AI is wrong a bunch of the times. Okay, so what we have to do here is not use AI. Give me the source.
Yo, can we get somewhere where you actually admit that you can actually admit you're wrong and we can give real
If
things?
I'm ever wrong,
Okay,
I can admit I'm wrong, but I'm your better. This isn't a lesson.
Let's pivot. Let's pivot.
No, we're not pivoting.
Okay, we're pivoting.
Not pivoting.
Okay, cool.
We are not
Let's
pivoting.
pivot. Let's go.
We
Wait.
are
Let's go
not
to the
pivoting.
reparations.
If you concede
go
and
to the
admit you're wrong,
reparations.
if you admit and concede you're wrong, we can pivot. Say I'm
Okay,
wrong.
I'm wrong. You're so right,
Say, no,
Jeremiah.
say you're my better. I'm wrong.
Yo,
Say
shut
it.
your bitch ass up.
Say it and we can move
Yo,
on.
that fucking shit on your lip. How old are you, bro?
Say it.
How
Say
old are
you're my better.
all the facial
I
hair you
learned
can grow?
from you, and we can move on. Go ahead.
All the facial hair you can grow?
You have 5
Yo,
seconds,
deadass.
or else I'm gonna keep pressing you. What's up, Dammy? What's up, my cam? You have like
Yo,
5
is that
seconds
all the
for
shit
you to
you
say
can go on
that.
your? Is that all the
5
shit you can
seconds
go
to
on
like
your
say
lip?
that I'm your better, and that
Do you have
wanna
the
move
same
on.
fucking facial hair as
That's
from
great.
middle school, bro?
That's great. Do you wanna say that I'm your better? Go ahead.
Yo, how tall are you?
When you
Yo, how
said you
tall are
wanted to
you, bro?
pidot, I didn't know
You're
you wanted
fucking
to like.
sinking in that fucking chair. Oh, yo,
Sinking
you're
in this
fucking
chair?
sinking in that chair. You're sinking in that chair with all that fucking titties on your fucking chest, bro. You're ugly as shit, bro. Can we just get
Projection.
to
You want to turn on
the
the
actual
camera?
point?
You want to turn on the
What?
camera?
No, I'm too majestic for you. I think you will die. I genuinely think you will die.
You're a fucking coward.
Yeah, I
You're
think
funny.
you'll fucking die, bro. I think you'll fucking die. Cause
You think I'll die?
Because I'm in my house.
I think my
bro.
eyes
I don't
will.
want your
My eyes will be
fucking ugly
scarred
ass
for
in my
life.
fucking even nowhere near my house, bro. I'm in my house
Yeah,
right now.
so-
I'm actually outside my house right now. In my
Bye, Ethan. You got a violation. Oh, let's talk to Moma. I have a question for him. I have a question for Moma. Hey, Mama, can you admit that like I cooked you the fact that Donald Trump's wife, Melania Trump, came here illegally and that was a
You
violation?
changed your name?
Do you remember that a couple months ago?
Joey.
Do you remember that? Can you admit I
Nah,
cooked you?
I don't recall that.
You don't? No? I absolutely dog walked you.
I mean,
Absolutely dog walked
I don't really know who you are, but if you like
Absolutely dog
recognize
walked
me,
you.
shit. I do
Yeah,
it a
I
lot.
talk to. I pretty much recognize anyone I dog walk. Like Ethan, I'll recognize him for a couple months. He'll come.
Yeah,
back. I mean, Ethan last time talked
I
about
don't
gay sex.
even know your name, but like,
But you came
you
up
know,
on my live stream,
if you-
right?
if you remember me like that long ago, I mean, sound like a big fan, and I appreciate my
No, I
fan.
just have a good memory,
So,
unlike you. Yeah. So what do you want to talk
Yeah.
about now? What do you want to get cooked on again?
what do I want to get cooked on again?
Yeah.
Just anything about Trump.
Why do you support Trump?
Let's go with the Iran war. How about that?
Why is the Iran war justified?
Because, for one, we need to show strength, and two, we need to prevent Iran from getting
Okay, if you
nuclear weapons.
in that justification, let's bomb Russia, China, and North Korea. Do you agree?
No.
But we need to show strength.
Yeah, but like,
So that
We
puts
might-
that in the
we
water.
might not-
Great.
we
That's a
might- we might
contradiction.
actually,
You
like,
can address
not
the
win, though.
contradiction.
yeah, I'll address the
Yeah, we're not
contradiction.
winning this. We're not winning this war. we
Nah,
lost the war.
Iran,
we
Iran
we
sucked.
objectively lost the war. America lost.
Well,
the
we're
war.
not we're not even done yet. Like, it's basically like
No, we objectively lost the war. Like you can cope, right? 18 U.S. service members
war's
dead,
not
worse
even
economy,
over.
higher gas prices, 200 schoolgirls killed. We objectively lost the war. So you're saying that? So you're saying the justification
okay, how
is
is
that we need
the
to show
squirrels
strength.
dying? Like, how is that us losing? I mean, shouldn't that be them losing?
I mean, quite frankly, like they still have control of the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump is doing nothing about that. There's no nuclear deal that has been reached.
Donald
Their
Trump's probably,
enrichment of
writing
uranium
war
has not
plans right
been
now, okay? Like,
negotiated.
the
Right, so you
war
have
is
no
not over.
justification for the war in Iran, right?
The war is not over, right? So it's ridiculous to say that.
Oh, so how
One
long is
side
this,
is-
how much longer is the war gonna last?
I don't know.
You don't know. It's been how many
Nah.
months?
I don't know, man. I don't count.
How many weeks was it supposed to be? 2 to 3 weeks.
I'm not good with like dates and times and like people's
So,
names.
to be
that I
clear,
talk
Donald
to.
Trump, he exits. Everyone said it was going to be a 2 to 3 week war. It has now been 6 months.
Yeah, we really decided to give it to him.
No, we really decided to take it. Right? You're a cock. You sit in your cock chair and you watch Donald Trump fuck America. Quite literally, he's killing U.S. service members.
Look, war is war. People die.
War is war. People die. Great argument, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's pretty much a requirement of war, honestly. Name one war where nobody died.
Yeah, not all wars are justified. And you're still trying to prove how this is justified. How it's justified. And that's what you're trying to prove, and you failed to prove that. Right? The first one is that we have to show strength. That applies anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's just bomb everyone else.
Okay.
Right, to show strength.
No. Let me like explain why that's not the case, right? Showing strength is a benefit, but there are also costs to going to war, right? So if we went to war with someone like China, where they have like,
this is a benefit,
where they can like attack us back and like actually
prove this is a benefit. We're not showing. We are showing weakness. Hold on, we're actively being weak because A, we got destroyed by Iran. B, they still have control of the Strait of Hormuz.
Nah.
C, the IRGC is still in power. D, our economy's in the shitter because of this war. E, we literally murdered 200 schoolgirls. Right? Like, how is this showing us that we're strong? I mean, like,
because we're willing to go to war. Like Biden would never go to war.
So that applies to with Russia and China. Like, wouldn't it be? So we should bomb Russia, China, and North Korea, and that would still show strength because we're quote unquote willing to go to war.
No, that's not the case.
It seems like you have a lot of contradictions.
Okay, it's not a contradiction. You didn't understand my point, right? It would cost.
It's not about winning or losing, right? Now it's not about that. Now it's about the cost of the war. Okay, how do you determine? How do you determine how much cost is too much to not go to war?
Concept, right?
Okay, how do you determine what is too much to not go to war?
The benefits versus the cost, right?
Okay, name one benefit of the Iran war.
Showing strength.
You can show strength if you go to war with China and bomb the fuck out of China, Russia, North Korea, and every single war,
right?
You get the benefit, now you're adding more I can't pronounce the word. Now you're adding more qualifications for this. Now instead of just saying it would show strength, now you're saying, okay, costs matter. So how do we determine what cost is too much to not go to war and it not be justified? What is too much?
Like a mathematical equation, it's subjective.
Subjective? Okay, well, how do you determine this?
How do I determine it? Yeah, because Iran is not like a serious threat. They don't have nuclear weapons.
Iran is not a serious threat. But the reason why we're going to war with them is because they're a threat? What the fuck?
Well, they're not a serious
threat. That's like the fourth contradiction. You're saying Iran isn't a serious threat, but we're going to war with Iran, and it's now been 6 months because they're a serious threat.
So they would be a serious threat if they had nuclear weapons, right? They're not a serious threat.
To be clear, they're not a serious threat. They're not a threat. They're not a threat.
No. Well, not right now because they don't have nuclear weapons.
Were they ever a threat? Under the first year of Donald Trump's second term in 2025, was Iran ever a threat to America?
It's a threat that they could become a threat in the future, right? That is the threat, right? Like militarily, they're not a threat right now because they don't have a good military and they don't have nuclear weapons. But they're threatening to get nuclear weapons. So if they actually got nuclear weapons, then they would be a threat.
Okay, so to be clear, they're not an active threat. They're not an imminent threat.
Well, no. I mean, they're not an active threat.
That just disproves the whole narrative that's why we went to war. The whole reason why the Trump administration is saying we went to war is because they were an imminent threat.
Well, the imminent threat was them becoming a threat. Like, that was the imminent
threat was them becoming a threat.
Exactly, yeah.
You still haven't justified the war, by the way.
The threat was that they would get
become
a threat. Well, you don't understand. Like, when you make a decision, you have to weigh the pros and the cons, right?
You have failed to provide any pros, right? You're saying it'll show us, show strength because we want to go to, we're able to go to war. Okay, let's go to with Russia, China, and North Korea.
Yeah, because they would have too many cons. Right. So
if
you have the same pro, then it might be worth it.
Name another pro. Okay, name another pro that doesn't apply to the scenario that I'm presenting. Name another pro.
The other pro is to prevent them from getting nuclear weapons.
The other pro is to prevent them from getting nuclear weapons. Couldn't this pro be achieved in another form than going and bombing them and going to war? Like we did under
we could suck Obama? Their dick. Yeah, I mean, we could suck their dick and give them all sorts of financial shit.
They're shoving it up our ass right now.
That doesn't
instead of so you're making the claim that Obama sucked their dick. Well, now Donald Trump is taking it up the ass I would argue that, like, in that scenario, it's worse because now we're in a war. 18 of our U.S. service members have been killed, and we've achieved nothing of it. I would argue that's worse than unfreezing their bank accounts under Obama and capping their enriched uranium at 63.67%.
If you look at the military loss,
so that's not applicable, right? Because that could be achieved in a different form other than going to war, like we saw under Obama.
Yeah, you could achieve the preventing them from getting a nuclear weapon.
Okay, so then what is a justification that is only for going to war? Like, what is a pro that only applies to going to war that can be achieved any other way?
The pro, that's showing strength, showing that you're willing to go to war. I already went over that one.
Okay.
That was the first
We're
pro
going
I
in
said.
circles. We're going in circles. If the only pro that you can point to is that we're willing to go to war, then we
There's
should
two
just
pros.
go to war with the whole entire world, right? Because we're willing to go to war, and that shows strength.
Do you understand what pros and cons are, bro?
You
gotta
have
consider
named two
the pros
pros.
and the cons.
Hold on, to be clear, you've named two pros.
Yeah.
We're willing to go to war is one of the pros. The second pro is applicable to something other than war, right? Which would be the preferable alternative, right?
Preventing them from getting nuclear weapons.
Like, yes, we can achieve that via a different form, which would be preferable to go into war. So far, only one is applicable to war.
That would sacrifice the first pro. This gets both pros, okay? Like, you could do it in the one pro fashion, but then you miss out on the other pro. And then you get,
What? What are you talking about?
I'm saying going to war has two pros. Stopping them from getting nuclear weapons and showing that we're willing to go to war and we're not pussies. Whereas making another JCPOA, that would only stop them from getting nuclear weapons. That wouldn't show that we're willing to go to war, and it would show that we are pussies. So I think it's better to get the two pros instead of just the one pro.
Okay, why should we go to war? Like, why do you think that going to war shows that we are strong? Wouldn't it be the case that we can negotiate with people without going to war and without killing innocent people? Wouldn't that show more strength?
No, because going to war is a much better deterrence, right? So if another country does something, because people don't want the U.S. to go to war with them, right? But they do want the U.S. to negotiate deals and give them shit. So if another country
negotiating deals, yes, that would show more strength than actually going to war.
No, because it's not a good deterrence, right? Like, people aren't afraid that we're going to negotiate with them, right? People are afraid that we're going to bomb them. So if we want to maintain that
because
fear,
they're scared. Like, that's the justification
that's
for
the
war.
whole point of showing strength, is to make people afraid of you.
But couldn't that apply in any scenario where we just want to invade our allies? Like, that would show strength because they'd be scared. They don't want to get attacked by America.
Well, not exactly, because
How so?
you still need a reason.
You still need a reason?
Yeah, well, you need to have an incentive structure where it's like, we ask you to do something, and then if you don't do it, then we go to war with you. That way, it's like
they did
kind of
do
a punishment.
Under Obama, and who took us out? Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean,
therefore,
we asked them. We asked them to. Well, no, they didn't just do it. They got shit in return. Like, if they're afraid of war, yeah, we shouldn't have to negotiate with them. We should be able to just
you shouldn't have to negotiate to get things that benefit you.
We're the strongest country
I've ever said.
No, we're the strongest country in the world. It should be, the negotiation should be, you give us what we want, in exchange we don't bomb.
So extortion?
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's what happens when you have the most powerful military. What's the point of having the most powerful military?
So if America wasn't the most powerful military, you would support America being extorted?
I wouldn't support it, but that's how war works, right? Like, the winner wins and the loser loses, you know?
Yeah, in negotiations, both end up, quote-unquote, winners.
Yeah, but we're less so winners. Like, we should just win outright.
How are we less so winners if the goal of the negotiations...
Because we're making concessions.
With the concessions of unfreezing their bank accounts?
Yeah.
How is that a concession?
Because they get something out of it, for one. And for two, they use that money.
Do you know what a concession is?
Yeah, it's when you have to give something up.
Okay. What did we give up in this scenario?
Well, we gave them money that we took from them up, right? For one.
Okay, so we gave them back their money.
Yeah, we gave it up.
Okay. And you're saying
And
this is
also,
why we should go to war, because instead of like negotiating and freezing their bank accounts like Obama did and capping their like their enrichment of uranium to 3.67%, you're saying that is not as that is not as likable as going to war, right?
yeah. Well,
So you're saying it's
yeah,
preferable to go to war than negotiate.
yes.
So then
In
why
this
do we
scenario.
negotiate at all? Do you just like support going to war in all negotiations? Like Canada right
Well,
now,
no,
they
it
paused all
depends on.
negotiations. Should we like go to war with Canada?
No.
But why? We're negotiating with them. You said you don't support negotiations. You said war is preferable.
Well, it depends on the cards, right? Like, if you have a royal flush, you don't negotiate, right? Like, we wouldn't want to go to war with, other countries that are powerful because, like, we might not do as well in the war, like China, right?
What about Canada?
Whereas, like,
do you support going to war with Canada right now?
no,
Why? What's the relevant
because
difference?
that would like cost us a lot more. Because Canada, for
What?
one, has
What's your evidence?
Canada has more military stuff, right, than Iran.
More military stuff in reference to what? I don't even know if
They
that's
have like
true.
special forces and like they have a better military than Iran, for one. And then
Okay.
for two, Canada is like right on our border, so they could actually attack us directly. Like they could attack our homeland, whereas Iran can't actually touch the American homeland. They're too far away.
But they're killing like U.S. service members, right? They're still striking, what's it called? U.S. bases, right?
Yeah, they're attacking our soldiers, but like
Right.
you generally like the soldiers are like the shield in front of the civilians. Like putting the civilians at risk is worse than putting the
You're just
soldiers.
a low IQ individual. You don't know what you're talking about. Why else do you support Trump?
Damn, bro. See, like, that's just dog walked right there, bro. You can't even.
You think
pull
you
the-
dog walked me when you contradicted yourself at
Yeah.
least 5 times?
Yeah, I mean, you claimed that, but you didn't show it.
I did. I literally did show it by
I think I
showing
dog
you the
walked you because
contradiction.
you ran away from the debate topic.
Yeah, I just think you're a low IQ individual. We're going in
gave up.
circles. I gave up on trying to teach you. Yes, this isn't a
Well, I was making
this
some
isn't
pretty good points on why like
name one
going
good
to
point
war
you
with
made.
Canada would be a lot. I was making points on like why going
You
to war
didn't
with
provide
Canada
any
would
evidence
be
for those points, though.
that we're on the border of Canada. I need
No, the point that it
you
would
want me to
cost
show you a
more.
map?
The point that it would cost more.
I said
That
we're
was
on
your
the
point to
border
begin
of
with.
Canada.
The point that you said is that we shouldn't go to war with any other countries because it like costs more, and relative to like countries that are powerful than Iran, that would cost us more, and that is the reason why the war with said country would not be justified. But you're not providing any evidence or what leads you to believe that why it would cost more to go to war with Canada.
The
than
evidence
with,
was
Iran.
that we share a border with Canada.
We
So
share a
Canada
border with
could attack
Canada.
us. Yes.
Therefore, it would cost us more.
Yes, because we'd
So
be
if we shared a border with Iran, it would also cost us more?
Yes.
Okay, so if we shared a border with Iran, we shouldn't go to war with Iran.
Well, there's other reasons too. I'd say it'd
Okay,
be a
now there's
harder
other reasons? Okay, what?
Well, there'd be
So
another.
if to be clear, if we shared borders with Iran, we should still go to war with Iran.
I'm not sure. I think that'd be a very different scenario.
Yeah, no fucking shit. It's a hypothetical question that applies your logic. And again, there's something
but
I wouldn't
there's a
necessarily
lot
say
of
it's a
factors.
contradiction, but I would say that there are some specific things that you still need to work out within your logic, because you're saying things apply to one scenario, but they don't to the other. And that is contradictory. Maybe the Hartman. If you ever need to, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. You're getting dog walked in front of like 80 people, buddy. Wow.
Yeah, bro, that's what you say when you're not dog walking someone. I mean, if you were
So
actually dog walking,
to be clear, earlier when you said that you were dog walking me, that wasn't a dog walk, yeah?
well, I mean, not
No,
really.
that is
but
another contradiction. What are you talking about?
I was just making fun of you for like
Oh, you're
saying
funny.
it earlier.
I'll give
Like,
you.
I
I'll
was
give.
just,
You're
I was
pretty
just
funny. I'll give
making
you that.
fun of you for when you said it to like very start of the conversation.
You're pretty funny. I'll give you that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not smart though, so definitely go look into like being a comedian. Not that like comedians aren't smart, but you know, I would argue you would be less smarter than the average comedian. Anyways, why else do you support?
I don't know, man. I don't know how many topics I want to talk about today. I'm supposed to like get.
Ethan, you can come back up. Your restriction is it's been 10 minutes. I played with my food a little bit with Moma. Let's talk to Juan Jose. If you're ever on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Make sure you guys double tap that phone screen. If you guys want to support the grift, you can check out the link tree in the bio. You can find my Venmo as well as the buy me a coffee link. You can send a message to me, my guest that I have on the stream, or the chat. Everything is greatly appreciated. I love you all. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yes.
Why?
I like his policies. For example, his economic policies, immigration.
What immigration policy of his do you support?
You know, the border. I like that he's, you know, expanding the construction of the wall.
What's your source for that? I don't think he is. Maybe.
Oh, he most definitely is.
Didn't he say that Mexico was going to pay for the wall?
Yeah, like in 2016.
And Mexico didn't pay for the wall. A and B, is there less undocumented entry right now?
Yeah.
Okay, is the border wall built? Completely?
Yeah.
Completely?
No.
This proves that we don't need a border wall in order to reduce undocumented entry. So that point's done.
How does that prove that? Wait.
Because you're saying there's still undocumented entry even though the border wall isn't entirely built.
Yeah, but it's going to be lower when it's finished.
So it's going to be even lower? I thought it was at 0. Trump supporters claim it's at 0. Are you saying it's not at 0?
Obviously, it's not at 0.
How many undocumented immigrants came in 2025 then?
You know, a lot, but it's
a lot. Was it more than 2024?
It was similar.
Okay, so Joe Biden and Donald Trump had the same amount of undocumented immigrants that came into the country under your worldview. You have no evidence for this, yet you still think Donald Trump would be better for undocumented entry? That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's why you look bad and I look good. Because all of Biden's supporters look chopped as fuck. And people like me who support Trump, we look good, we're cute, you know, and you're ugly. So what do you have to say about that? Period.
Is this like just a troll?
Can you explain why you look so chopped?
You want to turn on your camera? I sent you an invite.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Go ahead.
No, I'm fine. What you look like you're homeless. Like you look like you would be in the street, you know, begging.
Go ahead. Turn on your camera.
No, I'm not gonna turn on my camera, but you know, I definitely look way better than you.
Sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Moving on to the next guest. Oh, Trump is the best is in the queue? Wow. I didn't know Trump was the best. Make sure you guys are double tapping that phone screen, repost the live, share the live, do all the good things. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
You just gonna ignore me, puss? This is BBOC, bro.
How old are you?
Like 38.
Moving on to the next guest, Chad King.
Yo, how's it going?
Trump supporter.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? 24.
Yeah, what's up?
Is my profile picture racist or is it funny?
I'm not going to look at your profile picture.
You can't see it?
I'm not going to. I'm going to kick you. I don't trust you. Moving on to Luke. Luke.
What up, Lib? How you doing today?
Good. How old are you?
18.
Birth year?
2007.
Month? What month?
October 10th.
Why do you support Trump?
He hates the people I love. He hates the people I hate.
Let me guess. People of color, women, people a part of the LGBTQ community, and Muslims?
No.
No? Wow. Who?
The liberals.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I should have said that first. I mean, Trump supporters typically are all those things. He hates liberals. Okay. Well, why do you hate liberals?
Because they're rude, mean, they love hate. They hate this country. All sorts of stuff.
You see the irony in your like statement?
What do you mean?
I hate liberals because they hate.
Yeah.
Do you see the irony?
I hate liberals because they.
That was sorry, that was funny. Sorry, the whisper was funny. That was a good troll. That was that was a good troll. The whisper was funny. The whisper was pretty funny. The whisper was pretty funny. The whisper was pretty funny. I'll give him that. That was a good troll. That was a good troll. What's up, Trump Planet? Oh, they left. I don't even know that name. Their name was Planet. Right, frankly, if you're a Trump supporter, hop up in the guest box. I love to talk to you. Love to have a debate with you. Love to have a conversation with you. And as always, you're looking for some people to debate. There's over 80 people over on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 700 subscribers. We are like 7 away. As well as if you're on TikTok, there's 40 people in here. Make sure you guys are double tapping that phone screen like I just said. If you guys want to support the live stream, the best way you can do so is check out the link tree in the description of the YouTube live stream, as well as the TikTok bio. You can find all my social media platforms, which I haven't posted on. I've been lazy. As well as the pay links. If you guys want to support, everything is greatly appreciated. If you guys are on YouTube and you want to debate me, you got to go to the link tree in the bio. Click on the TikTok icon. Come over to TikTok and debate me. That's where we're doing the call-ins. Trump is never rude or mean. He is the most loving, non-hateful man in history. Someone said on YouTube. Wow. Very interesting. Oh, looks like there's someone in the queue. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Sure.
Why?
Because he provided a political mandate that, at least in form during the campaign, rhetorically, signified a position against American imperialism and pro-reindustrialization.
How so?
The rhetoric that gained him popularity signaled more so than the Democrats, more so even than the so-called social democrats or democratic socialists.
Yeah, what rhetoric?
Being against the Ukraine war and wanting to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States.
But he's done none of those. So therefore,
right,
you no longer support him.
But the rhetoric.
But you no longer support him, right?
I don't think that it would be much different if there was a Democrat in office.
No,
but I'm happy that
we saw the highest,
I'm happy that there's been some
level of
progress
investment
made
into American manufacturing ever seen in American history. That would have continued under Harris Walsh administration A and B. We saw a reduction in that under Trump. So.
Okay, can we focus on this industrial thing for a second?
You made a claim, and I was addressing part of your claim.
Okay, so let me just
to talk about that.
Let me just bring I'm going to take what you said and just say that, all right, you're completely right. Okay. Where is the end goal from this?
So then that's a concession. It means you no longer
does the United States have a significant proletarianized like manufacturing output compared to, or that would make any significant dent in the manufacturing output and material wealth of China, for example, our chief economic rival?
That's a pivot, because what we're saying here is you're
why
saying
is
the
that
rhetoric,
a pivot?
and the
Why is
reason
it a
why
pivot?
well, that's actually irrelevant, not a pivot. The reason why, sorry, I misspoke. I meant to say irrelevant. I was thinking of the word pivot. The reason why that's irrelevant is because the claim that you made is the rhetoric of why Donald Trump got elected is why you supported him. Therefore, you still support him because of that reason. I was able to get you to concede and say that I was right, that Harris would have been better on said reasons as to why he was elected. Therefore,
for the point of argumentation, which you've abandoned, by the way.
Trump.
Well, no, for the point of argumentation, I conceded.
We're not doing this for the point of argumentation. We're doing this because it's what you believe.
I'm saying, do you know why that I care about?
Like for the point of argumentation, you can argue that rape is good, right? But it's not what you believe.
No, but I'm not. But hold on.
Precisely.
I'm saying that America needs to reindustrialize. Do you agree or disagree with that statement?
Completely irrelevant to the claim that you made.
What? Okay, why is that irrelevant to the claim I made?
I already explained that to you.
I said, rhetorically speaking, he was more pro reindustrialization than the left.
Can we agree that we shouldn't elect people or support them just because simply of their rhetorics? And if they like actually follow through with the promises that they make, we should continue to support them. If they don't, we shouldn't support them.
But none of the promises
their rhetoric
that
has
politicians
no
make are ever
actual,
followed through because the politician.
If their rhetoric has no active consequences, then what's the point of it?
Well, the point of it is to show
because of the rhetoric.
The point of it is to demonstrate a contradiction between what they say and what they do, which leads people to more correct conclusions about the nature of U.S. politics.
Right, but again, we're determining on Harris for seed that Harris would have had more manufacturing jobs, and that was one of your points.
I actually did not concede that.
You did. You said you're right.
I said for the point of argumentation.
Okay, so you don't think that Harris would have had a higher increase into investment of manufacturing?
Do you realize why I conceded that point for the point of argumentation? It wasn't.
We're not doing this for the point of argumentation. We're doing this because you believe it. So, what is your evidence that she wouldn't have had an increase of investment to make a manufacturing?
Well, we simply don't know because she's never taken office, and I don't have reason to believe that it would be any stronger than
increase into investment into American manufacturing in American history. She was a part of the administration that caused that. She was a tie-breaking vote for the bills.
Of what the Biden infrastructure bill? Are you talking about the Biden infrastructure bill? What
the infrastructure bill was amazing, right? Trump tried to.
Okay, the infrastructure bill. You realize that the infrastructure bill, in the context of the needs of infrastructure in America, was breadcrumbs. It was basic maintenance of crumbling infrastructure.
That doesn't disprove the data and the statistics. That doesn't disprove the data and the statistics. If you're saying that's breadcrumbs, well, Donald Trump isn't even giving breadcrumbs. Donald Trump is giving maybe half of a breadcrumb. Okay, the point is here, the statistics are on my side, the data is on my side, the data is not on your side.
But the people who actually make up the actual working class in America broadly support with political power a path away from this Biden technocracy into a more real material productive base economy. Is that insignificant to you?
That's not what's happening under a Trump Vance administration. Thus, I would argue.
Well, the reasons for that is because Trump is obviously compromised by the ruling class, the donor class of finance and monopoly capital who run the state, right?
So Harris would have been better for
Harris would have been captured by those same donor class interests.
We know that's not true because she was a part of an administration that was better in all of American history.
Wall Street donates to the Democratic Party more than the Republican Party.
What?
Wall Street donates more money to the Democratic Party than they do the Republican Party.
Where? That has nothing to do with what we're arguing about.
Yes, it does. It means they have to serve those donor class.
No, you don't have data. You have nothing on your side. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have data on your side. You're going based off feelings. You're going based off rhetoric. You're not going based off policy and the consequence of policy. You're going based off feelings. You're going based off rhetoric. You're going based off emotions.
Do you think that? No, actually, you are, because you consider the technocratic breadcrumbs of so-called policy to be actual meaningfully political change.
Whatever you want to call them, the technocratic breadcrumbs of the Biden policy is better than half of a breadcrumb from the Trump-Vance policy. Yes. In an election, you vote for whoever is the lesser of two evils or who will be better for the average American. In this scenario, it is so clear that Harris would have been better for the economy and for jobs, and in so many other ways she would have been better. Therefore, Harris is the clear answer.
Why would Harris been better? Explain to me how the American economy improves under a Democrat liberal. Explain.
Yeah, because she wouldn't have imposed global blanket tariffs and got us into a war with Iran.
In the long term,
and do mass deportation. And those three key points are what is harming the economy.
Okay.
And what has harmed the economy.
Do you think that it is the purview of individual actions by a 4-year presidential cycle that affect the political economy of the U.S., or is it a larger infrastructure of U.S. imperialism and monetary policy?
You can make the argument for both.
Well, I'm making the argument for the latter as opposed to the former.
I mean, I could give you a pretty strong argument with data and statistics that prove to you that all these three different points are what has harmed the economy since the beginning of 2025. Right? I mean, statistics are on my side, data isn't.
Okay, so
This
what
is
do you
based off
think is
emotions.
what do you think is so what would you
Trumpflation is
qualify as
killing
harming
America.
the
So
economy, right? What is the economy to you?
increase in inflation, worst job
What is
report
the
since
economy? Oh, so inflation.
2008.
Okay, perfect.
So
Let's sit with
a
inflation, right?
reduction in
Let's sit
GDP
with
growth
inflation.
in the quarter of 2025.
What
The
is the
first quarter.
primary driver of inflation?
Again, I'm just telling you why.
No, but let's pick this apart.
I am telling you the reasons as to why Harris would have been better. Okay, and then you said that a president has nothing to do with the economy and it actually has to do with yada yada yada, right?
Very little, yeah, very little. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So address the points that I made, and then I can go into the details of what inflation is, what GDP is, what the war in Iran is, and what mass deportation is, and how all these address the points that I said, and give a rebuttal instead of just saying I feel like this is the case. Are you saying that tariffs, mass deportation, and the war in Iran didn't worsen the economy to the level that I'm saying? Okay, sure.
Well,
what's your evidence?
Definitely have quote unquote worsened the economy, but they are symptoms of the overall forces that have driven the U.S. economy into decline. Would you agree with that?
Harris wouldn't have done a global blanket tariff or mass deportation.
Right, but she would further the actual mechanism that is what creates the economic decline over decades in the United States, which is U.S. imperialism.
Like, you're just spamming words.
Okay, explain to me what didn't make sense to you right there.
You're saying she would just like continue doing what every other president has been doing to worsen the economy. You have no evidence for that.
Okay, would she or would she not have supported the broader military-industrial complex and U.S. foreign intervention, both soft power and hard power? Would she not have continued that legacy?
Donald Trump did. Right, so it would be.
How do you know
preferable.
that? How do you know that?
Because we know that under the Biden-Harris, under the Biden-Harris admin, we know this to be the case.
Hold on. In the campaign trail, did Kamala Harris not use the exact same rhetoric that Trump used as the justification for intervention with Iran?
No, not necessarily. No.
Yes, she did. She said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. That is at least propaganda-wise, that is the jingoistic rhetoric that Trump used. It's identical.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be her justification to go to war with Iran. I would argue she wouldn't have gone to war with Iran.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because we know in 2024, Benjamin Netanyahu asked the Biden-Harris administration to go to war against Hezbollah and preemptively strike Hezbollah. They said no. Right, Israel has been trying to get America to go to war with Iran for years. Right, president after president after president has said no. Trump said no in his first term. Right, but second term, Donald Trump was stupid enough to say yes. Right, we're going to war on behalf of Israel. Right.
Do you think when the U.S. goes to war is the sole decision of the president?
One more time.
Do you think when the U.S. goes to war, it is the decision of it or the whims of a president and not the long-term strategic play of the State Department?
I think both can be a play. I think that obviously the president is a commander-in-chief. Like I said, I think that there can be external factors, i.e. Benjamin Netanyahu asking Donald Trump to go to war on behalf of Israel with Iran. I think that there are obviously going to be external factors into this. But at the end of the day, it just proves that even if it weren't to a greater extent, Harris would have been better than Donald Trump under your worldview. And you admitted to that when you were saying red cross.
Hold on. You didn't answer the question. Do you think that the State Department is the driver of when the U.S. goes to war?
I answered your question.
Which was what? Yes?
Can you repeat the answer that I gave you?
You said that there are certain externalities that also factor into whether they go to war. But that fails to address if you even understand the key problem, which is there long-term planning for foreign military intervention by the State Department that ultimately drives these decisions?
Long-term planning, I would argue that you'd have to provide evidence if you want to make the point.
Okay, in the 70s,
for this Department of State. For this Department of State specifically, you have to provide evidence.
In the 70s,
I can probably concede to like previous State Department or Department of States, but for this,
how often do you think the State Department changes its
for this specific administration? I would like you to provide evidence that this would be the case.
Does the State Department change based on the administration, or does the State Department have continuity throughout multiple?
Do you have any evidence that specifically this administration is doing it in like long-term and planning long-term?
The evidence is that the State Department has had a long-term plan, including Iran, very explicitly. Iran, Iraq, Syria, Libya, Lebanon,
And
in
what was
some
the long-term
instances,
plan that the State Department had for Iran?
that they were going to sow dissent and what's called a color revolution tactics by the CIA and direct military intervention to destabilize the region to maintain control over the petrodollar and broader U.S. dollar hegemony.
Okay, so this is so you're saying that this is what they want to accomplish, correct?
This is 100% part of their long-term strategy
Is this what they
to
are?
maintain global
Is the war in
hegemony.
Iran
Yeah.
right now, in part, helping reach that inevitable goal?
Yes.
How?
It is strategically limiting one of the few pinch points that the chief economic rival, China, in the United States has, which is that they are an importer of oil. Mostly from Iran.
Hold on, that has nothing to do with the inevitable goal that you were pointing to.
The inevitable goal is to maintain U.S. hegemony, through mostly control of the dollar as the world's reserve currency, which is backed by the petrodollar and the Treasury standard.
Well,
If they
you have no evidence that
restrict
this is
oil
the case,
into
though. You
China,
have no evidence. This is just speculation. All
I
you've
have no
said is
evidence of
speculation.
that?
You're saying
No
this
evidence for
could
what?
happen,
No evidence
or
for
you
what?
want
No
this
evidence
to
for what?
happen.
No evidence for what?
For any claim that you've made on the stream, you've provided no evidence.
Okay, do you understand how the U.S. maintains dollar hegemony, for example?
Why are you pivoting?
This is the same argument.
That was me asking you for evidence, and then you're asking me a question.
Okay, because I'm going to explain something. I'm just asking if you know what it is
I
already.
need evidence for any of the claims that you
Is an explanation not evidence?
Explanation, I mean, you can make an argument that explanation can be a form of evidence. I would argue, like in most cases, probably not. I mean, you can resort to like logic, right? But then at the end of the day, that what do you take logic to be?
How about describing the mechanisms, the material mechanisms that create real?
But then you're just saying this is the goal of the war, but you're not showing evidence that this goal is being accomplished to then accomplish the inevitable goal.
There are two goals. The evidence for it being accomplished that China is draining its reserve oil.
So China is draining its reserve oils. I mean, I don't even know if that's true. Do you have a source for that? I'm not denying or affirming. Do you have a source for that?
Dude, I'm on my phone, but you can Google it. China, first of all, China has source.
Again, I'm not denying. I'm not saying you're lying, but like I like to have sources.
China has oil reserves, from which it is a state secret how much they have. It is speculated that either they have a lot, little. It cannot be known unless you are in the National People's Congress.
So you're saying you don't know?
But they are using that right now, which is the goal of the United States. Because they have limited. The Strait of Hormuz is closed.
Okay. So you're saying
they don't get oil in. Same reason the United States is also using its oil reserves.
You're saying they're using these reserves because the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and therefore
yes, because they're a net oil importer. They're an oil importer.
But how much do they get of the Strait of Hormuz? Do you know?
I think about 40% of their oil comes from the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay, since the war started, how much have they gotten? How much oil have they gotten from the Strait of Hormuz?
None.
None? Yeah. What's your source?
The strait is closed.
I mean, not completely. Ships have been allowed to pass.
Okay, so if any oil has come to China, it has been completely insignificant.
I would like a source, please.
If it has been completely insignificant because it is closed, obviously. There's been no official agreement
with like intelligence.
Okay, dude. Now you're just going. Now you're just like.
What?
You're obfuscating the argument.
Define obfuscation.
In clear common sense, like the Strait of Hormuz is closed. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Are you denying that this is having an effect on Chinese oil imports? Because that's ridiculous. That would need more evidence than what you're providing. It goes against rational common sense.
I am not denying that the Strait of Hormuz is closed. I'm just simply asking you a question. You made the claim that they've gotten none from the Strait of Hormuz. What's your source?
I don't have a source. I understand that the Strait of Hormuz is closed.
How do you believe things without evidence?
Okay, do you have a source that says that the sun will rise tomorrow? What is your source?
Well, what is my source that the sun will rise tomorrow?
Yes.
I mean, probably the fucking weather app, maybe.
Okay, so you're going to cite
what time is this other? What time is this other race tomorrow? Hold on, you found that was a. The
So wait,
sun is gonna
so wait.
rise at
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm all right. You're right. But if someone was to tell you that they did not say they did not have a phone or access to a phone, they're like, yeah, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. Would you then say, well, you don't have a source for that? How could you possibly know?
I mean, it would be speculation because it could be the case that the sun doesn't rise tomorrow. Sure.
Okay, but in that case, all communication between two people is completely meaningless because that would mean that's a form of idealism in which communication would be completely impossible between two people if we had to think like that. Common sense
Communication would be completely impossible to people if we speculate. What?
If you considered something like the sun rising without sources, as
you don't need sources to determine whether or not the sun is rising
within the
because
realm
you
of
have eyes and you
could
can see
happen.
whether or not the sun is rising. But you definitely need a source, especially if you don't know how much oil reserves China has in reference to that they're not getting
Well,
anything.
no one
from the
knows
Strait
how
of
much
Hormuz
oil
and using
reserves
those
China
oil
has. No
reserves.
one knows how much oil reserves China
Right.
has. It's
So
a national secret.
Exactly, and anyone can go look at the sun right now and
But
determine.
is it
Right?
not
The point
a completely
is, for some things, you
rational
don't need
and
sources. You don't need a source to determine if the sun is going to rise or if there's going to be a sunset. But you need that's common knowledge. But the fact that you're saying the claim that you're making is not common knowledge, you need
can
a
be
source for that.
applied. The exact same common knowledge can be applied that China imports a significant amount of their oil from the Strait of Hormuz, and it is closed. Therefore, that has put pressure on China.
So is the claim that they're getting none from the Strait of Hormuz? Is that the claim?
I don't know if they have.
So you don't even know what claim you're making?
Or none.
So you don't know what claim you're making. Then why are you making the claim that you don't even know what you're making?
All right, host. The claim is not.
This is kind of boring, bro. We're going in circles.
No, you are being purposely.
You literally just said, I don't know what my claim is. You're my better.
No, I'm trying to tell you my claim. You keep interrupting. My claim is that the oil imports that China's received has been dramatically reduced by the war in Iran.
So is it zero?
It may or may not be zero from Iran.
So
I don't know, but it's dramatically reduced.
To be clear, I don't know what my claim is. You're my better.
Okay, how is that? How is saying that the oil imports from China?
Moving on to the next, guys. I get annoyed easily. God damn, there's
what's up?
50 people on YouTube. Holy fucking shit. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
I'm not in the US. I just have a question to you.
Go
ahead. Why won't just Americans stop arguing and just vote for the person that showed that they're gonna make everything better?
Yeah, Donald Trump said he was gonna make everything better, lower gas prices, lower inflation, lower energy prices, end wars. Obviously, people can claim what they want to claim, but we have to look at the policy, what they ran on, etc., etc. I think the reason why we should stop arguing is because the reason why we're arguing or debating with these people is to get Donald Trump out of power, get more Democrats to win in the midterms, inevitably to make Donald Trump a lame duck president to the full extent. That would be the ultimate goal. So
Wait,
that answers your question. Any other question?
Are you for or against nuclear power? How you make electricity?
Am I for or against nuclear power?
Yeah.
I haven't done too much research into that. I'm actually from the very little research that I've done. I would say I'm for, but again, I've done very, very little research into that. And I can admit when I've done very little research on things. But again, I haven't done a too much of a deep dive.
Yo, I love Trump, bro.
Damn, there's 271 people on YouTube. What is going on YouTube? If you guys are over on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. I haven't said that in a while. If you're over on YouTube, you guys want to support the live stream, the best way you can do so is simply subscribing and hitting that thumbs up. Turn on notifications all. We do these debates every single day, okay? We literally debate people every single day. We're live on TikTok. So if you're a Trump supporter and you're over on YouTube and you want to debate me, click on the link tree in the description of my YouTube live stream. Click on the TikTok icon. Come over to TikTok and debate me. We're 67 minutes into the stream. First off. Second off, you guys can support by checking out my other social media and monetarily as well. You can find my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, as well as a Buy Me a Coffee link if you're international. Everything is greatly appreciated. You can send a message to me, the guests, or the chat. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Moving on to Jared. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Moving on to Jared. There's an echo. You're gonna need to swipe out of the app and like.
I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Moving on to
swipe out of the app and come back in really quickly.
I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Moving on to
swipe out of the app and come. Okay, this is enough. Moving on to the next test. If you're a Trump supporter, hop up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to debate with you. I'd love to have a conversation with you. As always, you're looking for some people to debate. Quite frankly. This is probably one of the best streams we've had on YouTube ever.
Okay.
Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Why would you ever do that?
I mean, I think Trump's like one of the best presidents we've had in a while.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, he's America first. And
he's America first. How is he America first?
Well, he's getting rid of like illegal immigrants. He's doing a lot for like, I would say, all American people, lowering prices, gas prices, grocery prices. And he's doing a great job.
Is this a troll?
No, I'm not. I'm being honest. Like, I'm being forthright.
Okay, give me a second. I started a poll over on YouTube. Make sure you guys vote. It's do you support Trump? Make sure you guys hit that subscribe. There's still over 200 people over there. Okay, sure. Mass deportation, getting rid of undocumented immigrants, low gas prices, lowering prices in general. Back any of these comes up. I'd ask you what's one benefit of mass deporting undocumented immigrants, and then I would point to the fact that gas prices have reached a staggering $4.51 because of the war in Iran in February, or I think March. Sorry. And then I would argue food prices, food away from home is up, food at home is up, and then energy prices are also up as well. Renting prices are up, etc., etc. So what you're saying is just objectively false. So either A, you're trolling, or B, you deny reality.
No, I'm not denying reality. But Trump said it himself. He said it's like temporary. So it's all the rising gas prices.
So I mean, isn't
would you
lowering
rather
gas prices?
No, but like, would you rather have Iran have a nuclear weapon?
I would rather them not have a nuclear weapon, which is why I supported Obama and why I supported Biden and why I didn't support Trump in 2016, 2020, or 2024. It's because of him that they have a nuclear, or that they are a threat of having a nuclear weapon, quote unquote.
If we didn't go to war with Iran, they would have already had a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, if
by now.
Donald Trump didn't take us out of the JCPOA, we wouldn't have had to go to war with them because it would have been capped at 3.67 enriched uranium, which would have prevented them from building a nuclear bomb.
I mean, they were kind of close to having a nuclear weapon, and
no, under
I mean,
Obama,
if there's like
they
an
weren't.
imminent threat to the United States,
Under Obama, they weren't.
There was a threat, an imminent threat.
No, because they were capped at 3.67% enriched uranium.
Okay, but you know, I voted for Trump 3 times, and I think we just all have
really
to live
fucking
with the
annoying,
fact
Jared.
by stating that I support Trump.
No, by being a fucking dumbass.
How am I being a dumbass?
You came on this
you can
live
disagree
stream.
with me, but
You came on this live stream. You said you supported Trump because of mass deportation. I asked you to name one benefit of mass deportation. You didn't. I then pointed to gas prices.
You didn't let me.
You
didn't
said
ask
you
me
support Trump because he's lowered gas prices. And then he said, okay, wait. You have to have a little bit of pain until you reach the end goal of being free, right? And then you say, well, do you wish Iran had a nuclear weapon? I'm like, yeah, I don't. That's why I support Obama, Biden, not Trump, because Donald Trump greenlit Iran to build nuclear bombs. And then you say, okay, well, fuck all that. I still voted for Trump 3 times because I'm a cult member. That's why you're a dumbass.
No, but like you didn't ask me directly. You didn't ask me directly what the benefit is of like deporting illegal immigrants.
I asked you. I asked you, what is one benefit of mass deportation? And then I addressed your second point of gas
All right,
prices.
let me answer.
Go ahead.
Sure, let me answer. So, lower crime rates.
Do you know what the transitive law of logic is?
No.
A equals B, B equals C, therefore A equals C. Do you agree?
What do you mean? A equals B.
A equals B, B equals C, therefore A equals C. Do you agree or disagree? Thank you for the sub over on YouTube.
I don't agree.
Why?
It doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't sound right.
Do you know how planets are made?
No.
So planets aren't made because if something doesn't.
Why are we
make
talking
sense
about
to you,
planets? It's a
true.
political.
the reason why I brought that up is to show a comparison. You're saying because transitive law of logic doesn't make sense to you, it is the case that you don't agree, right? So let's apply this logic to anything else. You don't know how planets are made or how planets are formed, therefore planets are formed since you don't know how they're formed.
Yeah, I guess they're formed.
Okay. Do you know how they're formed?
No.
Okay. Then under your worldview, if you're saying the transitive law of logic doesn't make sense because you don't know what it is, or how it's applied, or how it's used, well, the same applies to planets, or the same applies to literally anything else. Math, right?
We were talking about illegal immigrants a minute ago, and now you're talking about planets.
It's an analogy.
Okay, but so can you debunk my claim at least? Because I said I don't think you can debunk it.
Can we
about
agree?
crime rate?
Okay. You disagree with transitive law of logic because it doesn't make sense?
Yeah, you're stating different letters. You say A equals this, C equals that, but doesn't make sense. They're different letters.
In math, when you're asked to solve for x represents something, right? Which is the number you're trying to find, right?
I'm not really good at math, so you shouldn't be asking me math questions.
Okay. A contradiction, we'll try to figure this out together, okay? We'll give you a free lesson, okay? Again, typically you have to hit the pay links in order to get a free lesson, right? Especially when you're this low IQ, but it's okay. It's okay. We're doing a free lesson, okay? We do this once in a lifetime opportunity, okay? What I define to be a contradiction is A not equaling A, okay? Right? Those things represent something. A, meaning like a phrase, right? And another A, right? Meaning another phrase. You're saying that these two things don't equal to each other, therefore that is a contradiction. The same applies to find for x. In this instance, you're saying x is a number. X represents something. X represents a number. In the case of transitive law of logic, A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C. A, B, and C all represent something and all have different meanings. Okay? A, in this instance, represents mass deportation. B represents poverty. Okay? Equals represents this is caused by, okay? This is the outcome, okay? So mass deportation equals poverty or a higher rate of poverty. How do I know? Well, American Immigration Council says for every 500,000 immigrants removed, 44,000 US-born workers would lose their job. American Immigration Council also says we would see a reduction in GDP, an increase in inflation, and an increase in prices. Okay, well, with a worse economy comes more poverty. Okay, well, A does equal B, and I was able to prove that. Now to prove B equals C. So remember, B was poverty. C is going to be an increase of crime. Okay, well, I'll just point to FBI data tables and PNAS. They do account for poverty having an increase in crime. Well, okay, B equals C, and I was able to prove it. Now, A, mass deportation, and C, poverty or crime, equals to each other. So, mass deportation equals an increase of crime under the transitive law of logic.
Look, I came here to talk about Trump and Biden, and now you're talking about like math equations and stuff like that.
That wasn't math.
It's not relevant to the debate.
I didn't use math.
Not relevant to the debate. But look, so you support Kamala.
I support Harris, yes.
Okay, can you name one thing that Kamala did as a
She did the
vice
best
president?
job of any vice president in American history by passing the most tie-breaking votes in American history that any VP has, and that is her explicit job. She worked alongside Biden to pass the Chips and Science Act, which brought 115,000 jobs into American manufacturing, the Inflation Reduction Act, the infrastructure bill, and worked with Biden to save our economy from a catastrophe, i.e. the global pandemic.
But Biden allowed for open borders.
What was the open border policy?
I mean, all I know, there were a lot of illegal immigrants that came in. They could they were coming from Mexico.
How many?
And there were no borders.
Immigrants came under Biden?
A lot, hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands.
And now the borders are closed.
Not a lot. In the
and
4 years,
let me tell you, Trump.
How did Trump
put
close
a cap?
the borders?
Well, not only did he close the borders, he put a cap
How
on.
did he close the borders?
on
Is my question.
by closing the borders, by like having agents
That's
there.
circular. You're saying he closed the
24/7.
border by closing the borders. That's circular.
No. But if you don't have agents at the border stopping
Biden had
immigrants are going to come in. Well, okay,
Biden had
explain to me
higher
how did
apprehensions,
hundreds
deportations and encounters in 2024 than Trump did in 2020?
how did they come in? Did they just teleport?
Yeah, the reason why we saw a massive
to the
spike
US?
in 2022 to 2023, it's going to be because of the fact that these there was an increase in inflation in these countries at the peak of their inflation, and because of the backlog within the immigration system, and that caused massive influx of undocumented immigrants coming into the country. And again, this is pointed to the pandemic, and this is pointed to the backlog, right? Now, to make the claim that Biden had open borders, that's not true. You have no evidence for that. To make the claim that Donald Trump closed the borders, that's not true. You don't have evidence for that. You're a low IQ individual. You know nothing. You have no evidence on your side. Data is.
I do have evidence.
Okay, what piece of evidence?
All I have to do is listen to Trump.
Listen. So
and
listen
think.
to me.
Now, all I
You're
have to do
getting
is listen
cooked
to
in
Trump.
front of 200 people, buddy. Just to clarify, you're getting dog walked.
Well, it's not true, but you guys
is
are all Democrats, so I wasn't expecting anything else. Okay,
You
so
weren't expecting anything else other than to get dog walked by a Democrat? Good boy.
no, but
You
like
walked right into that one, buddy.
that's not true.
It is true. That's what you
Trump-
said. Your own words. Thank you for the repost.
So you're saying,
Donnie.
so in other words, you're saying Trump lied about accusing Biden of having open borders.
Yes, that is
That's
what
what
I'm
you're
saying. Can I
saying.
read you something?
Well, he didn't lie. Sure.
How do you feel about like presidents having affairs?
I mean, that's just like a personal decision. I mean,
Would
it
you
shouldn't.
support a president? Did you
it
like
doesn't
Bill
make them-
Clinton?
Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Did he have an affair?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I just don't care.
I'm pretty sure. Was it
I
Bill
don't care about what they're
Was
doing
Bill
in their
Clinton?
personal
Am I
lives.
tripping with chat? Was it Bill Clinton? Am I tripping? Monica Lewinsky. I'm pretty sure it was Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. Was it not? Yes, it was. I'm not tripping. You're trying to gaslight me. That's what Trump supporters do.
No, I mean, I don't care about what they do in their personal lives. I mean, if the president is just a good president, that's all that matters.
Well, you have to prove Donald Trump is a good president. You failed to do that. Also, there's a
Like I said, he's
poll in the
America
YouTube
first.
chat. Why is there 58% of people that do support Trump? People who don't support Trump, go vote in the poll. Let's rig the election. That's gonna take me down on TikTok. Fuck.
Okay, but if he's a bad president,
fuck,
like
fuck. That's gonna
how did he
take
win?
me down. Yo, I have to end stream. So YouTube, if you guys don't know, TikTok is really interesting when it comes to their terms of service. Okay, talking about the 2020 ELC, or really any ELC, they take you down instantly. Okay, so when I said that ELCs are RIGGED, they wouldn't like that, so I just ended the stream and had to restart. But if you're not a Trump supporter, go vote in the poll. And I see 58% of people that voted support Trump. Okay, and there's been 120 votes. Come over and debate me. Don't be scared. Don't be a scared Trump supporter. Don't be a beta cuck. Moving on to Rebecca. Rebecca, that is not good.
Jeremiah's.
All right, you're back. What were you talking about?
Okay, so like the refugee admission cap, Trump said it's like 7,500. Biden had it set at like 125K.
What does that have to do with undocumented entry, though?
I mean, it's a different thing, but I still care about American people. I don't want other people from other countries coming in, taking our jobs.
So you don't agree with immigration in general?
I mean, yes, but it should be limited. So I support that number. I support 7,500. I think it's a
Why?
perfect number for refugees.
Why?
Because if you're having more than 100,000 people come in from other countries, let's say.
You're stupid. I don't want to talk to you. Moving on to the next, guys. I'm not going to start my stream with you. Hello, are you...
Hello. No, I'm not, but I'm just here to say thank you for everything you've been doing. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a good day.
I appreciate you. You're amazing. You take have a great one. If you're a Trump supporter, hop up in the guest box. I'd love to talk to you. Love to debate with you. Love to have a conversation with you. And as always, I can people to debate. If you're ever on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up. We're gonna do a quick ad break and a quick grifting break. That's a joke, by the way. If you're ever on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Let's try to get to 50 likes. Okay, we've been having over 100 to 200 people in this live stream. Try to get to 50 likes. Okay, make sure it's not the heart that you're tapping. Make sure it's the actual like button. So if you're on the chat, swipe out of the chat and click the actual like button, and that would increase it to 50 likes. That would be the most likes we've ever gotten on a stream, as well as hitting that subscribe. As of now, we are 2 subscribers away from 700. If you can hit 710 tonight, that would be wonderful and amazing. We do these debates every single day. As well as checking out the link tree in my bio where you can find my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Substack, Threads, TikTok if you want to debate me, as well as the pay links where you can find the Buy Me a Coffee link if you're international, the Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. Everything is greatly appreciated. Everything is accepted. You can send a message to me, the guests, or really anyone else on the stream. And without further ado, if you're a Trump supporter, hop up in the guest. I would love to talk to you if you happen to be a MAGA Trump supporter. Again, we do these debates every single day, so if these debates are something like over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Hello, are you a MAGA Trump supporter?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Why do you support Trump, the worst president of your lifetime?
Immigration, man.
What immigration policy of his do you support?
I support him saying that he wants to deport all illegals.
What's one benefit of mass deporting all undocumented immigrants?
So undocumented immigrants, which is about 10 million. I think it was the. Don't quote me on this. I think it was the.
What's
say
up?
that?
Just continue.
I'm pretty sure I got it from the official government website, but 10 million, that's a large change, especially in some areas.
It was
My city where I live. Okay. Where I live here in Missouri, we went from a nice town with
listen, cool story.
little to no.
I'm not trying to be rude, but this is your anecdotal experience. We're talking about the federal level and the national level. What is one benefit of mass deporting undocumented immigrants on the national level? Because I could point to under Zoran Mamdani, crime has been decreasing, right? I can point to like blue cities that have lower crime than red cities, therefore Democrats are better at leading. No, we're looking at a national level, okay? Tell me the federal or national benefit of mass deporting undocumented immigrants.
The federal demographics don't change as much.
Demographics. What do you mean? What do you mean by demographics?
Demographics. Do you know what demographics are or no?
I want you to say it. I don't want you to be vague. I want you to say what you want to say.
Yeah, well, this country's going from a Christian white nation to.
Okay, so you're just a white supremacist.
You guys always confuse these terms. I'm not a white supremacist. I don't.
Debatable.
White supremacy would entail that I think that the white race is superior to other races. That's not
probably
true.
don't.
I don't believe that.
You sure?
Or am I sure? Yeah, I'm sure.
Positive?
I think. Are you just getting away from the topic, or?
No, I'm just making sure. Yeah, I would argue that like it doesn't matter if there's less white people.
It doesn't matter,
no.
dude.
There's no negative
The
outcome of that.
founding fathers were for a white Christian nation.
The founding fathers were slave owners, so all you're saying here is white Christian men are like supporting slaves or like support slavery.
No, that's a straw man fallacy. Where'd you get that from?
Define straw man?
Misrepresenting an argument.
Misrepresenting an argument. You made the claim that the reason why it would be a bad thing to have less white people in the country is because of the founding fathers were white Christian men, right? And then I just said, okay, I actually asked you a question. Does this mean that then white people, specifically white Christian men, support slavery in accordance with your worldview?
No. I would say that I don't think the founding fathers were very staunchly pro slavery. I don't think there was anything in the Constitution or any of the or any bills that had anything to do with you're just gonna wipe your face and clip farm. Yeah, back to what I was saying. There was nothing in the Constitution talking about slavery, anything, any bills talking about slavery, but there were about only allowing white men and women of good moral value. So Christian men, white woman.
You're trolling.
Are you just gonna say I'm trolling because you don't have any anything to say?
That's just like an absurdity. Just to be clear.
It's absurd. It's absurd to want a nation that the founding fathers
to make the claims that you made.
What claims did I make?
The fact that like the founding fathers weren't like staunchly pro-slavery.
Well, didn't Washington inherit all of his slaves?
So one more time?
Didn't Washington inherit all of his slaves? If I'm not wrong.
Didn't Washington inherit all of his slaves? What does that have anything to do with the fact that they were literally pro-slavery? Like the founding fathers, like they were slave owners.
So okay, they're slave owners, but I live in capitalism.
So you're saying being a slave owner doesn't necessarily mean you're like pro-slave.
So
owning,
being a part of something doesn't mean you're pro it. A socialist is part of a capitalist. Listen. Are you gonna let me speak, or you should
can't necessarily mean that you are a part of it?
Socialists in America live in a capitalist system. Doesn't mean that they're capitalists.
I mean, you can make the argument if you engage in capitalism to some extent, you are a capitalist, right? Now you can say that you're a socialist. You can say that these are your ideologies and this is what you want America to be. But I think when we're talking about like the like capitalism, all of these different forms, that's going to be different from like someone owning a slave, right? We're talking about someone who is like owning a slave. What I take someone to be when I say they're pro-slavery, I think of someone who is engaging in the act of owning a slave and someone who is okay with slavery. That's what I take someone who to be pro-slavery. Same with like pro-capitalism. If I make the claim that someone is pro-capitalism, I would say that they're engaging in capitalism as well as being okay with capitalism.
Sorry, the last thing you said, the second last thing you said, I didn't listen because someone in comments is talking about this being Bonnie Blue's secret account. That's
You're
completely
like
my
not
fault.
serious person. Moving on to the next guest. I don't take children seriously.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Pretty good. Are you a Trump supporter?
I am, in fact, a Trump supporter, man.
Why?
I honestly, okay, listen, I'm younger, okay? I'm 22 years old. His last term, I was obviously not old enough to vote. And honestly, the best time of me living my teenage years was whenever he was president with gas prices. And just overall, I took political science my high school years, okay? And honestly, a lot of his political views and a lot of his, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. But his financial views honestly make sense to me, His and his social views.
It's a worse economy.
Worse economy?
Yeah.
Well, I could argue that that Joe Biden, led this economy into astray. I mean,
how?
What do you mean how? During COVID, I mean, he completely fucked this economy. Sorry, excuse my French. I didn't mean to cuss. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here. What do you mean how? Our gas prices rose.
How did he make gas prices higher?
What do you mean how did he make? He just did it.
You keep on saying it like
how
you know what I mean by
how did he not do
just,
it?
Let's just come. Do you know what
Can
the
you
word
tell me
how means?
how he didn't do it, please? Because you're obviously
like
negative
claim. I don't have to prove a negative. You have to prove a positive. Okay. Do you know what the word how means?
What do you mean the word how means? It means
because you keep on asking me. What do you mean by how? It's like the 10th.
Yeah, what do you mean by how? Like, can you tell me how he did?
No, that's a negative. I don't have an obligation to prove a negative. You have an obligation to prove a positive.
And I'm obligated to stick my fingers up your ass, you stupid nigger. Oh, you smiling. You're racist as fuck.
No, I didn't smile. I think you're a dumbass. I think you're a dumbass, and I think that you are a Trump supporter, and you couldn't debate, and that's why you slurred. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
No, but I wanted to ask you about MAGA and debating them.
Go ahead.
Do you think that there's any point actually debating people who are into kind of like extreme beliefs?
I don't typically debate people with extreme beliefs. Typically, I think that like MAGA, I think you can classify that as an extreme belief, but I think it's like way too common to just ignore it. Like the base is too big to ignore it. So I think that we do have to debate with them. I appreciate you coming up here. All right. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. I appreciate you for being here. Check out the link tree in the bio. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
You're 12. We have to do the next guys. Okay, you didn't accept it, I guess. To each his own. I didn't click accept. My bad. Hello, are you MAGA?
No, I'm Giles.
You're not MAGA?
No, I'm Giles.
That's just simply not true. The Republican Party, how old are you?
I'm your nigger.
The moment I heard the fetus take a breath, I knew it was a child. I don't know why I asked the age. Someone said on YouTube, the Republican Party is trying to save America by expanding its economy, bringing investments in manufacturers. Not true. We've seen a decline in investment into American manufacturing. And I don't know what you mean by expanding an economy. I can just point to the worst economy. Even to Gabe, if you're over on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and click the notification all button so you get notified every single time I go live. If you're in TikTok, double tap that phone, so you can repost the live, show the live, do all the good things. We went to Willy Dog. If I don't find any debates within the next like 5 minutes, I'm gonna get off. We've been on for 94 minutes. Let me debate you? You're a troll, I know it. Next like 5 minutes, I'm gonna get off. You a drum
Yes, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
94 minutes. Are you a Trump supporter? You're a troll, I know it. Okay, moving on to the next guest. Waiting for the guest to join, quite frankly. True. Hello, are you a Trump supporter? You're echoing, by the way. I didn't say you were. Did I say you were a troll? I meant to say you were echoing. A very bad echo. So fix the echo. You can come up here. We'll determine if you're a troll. I meant to say that you are. You're echoing. I heard myself. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Why?
Is your proposition that MAGA can't debate a liberal?
Yes.
Do you have an argument as to why that is?
Won't you tell me why you support Trump? Yes.
Well, talking about why I support Trump is different than making the proposition that MAGA can't debate a liberal. Do you want to talk about why I support Trump?
After we debate on why you support Trump.
He's putting into effect policies that I support.
Like?
And liberals don't.
Like?
Border security, suppression of regulation.
Border security, do you support of his?
Actually enforcing the law as it's written.
It's not a policy, holy blunder.
So enforcing the law.
Executive order signed by the president or something passed through Congress, I guess you can say, and then signed by the president.
Yeah. Do you not understand that there's a difference between enforcing the law as the executive leader and not enforcing the law as the executive leader?
You claim you support policy, though.
It is a policy of the. Do you understand that the policy of the administration is to enforce the law as it's written? Do you understand what the definition of the word policy is?
And what I take to be policy in this context is just going to be something signed by the president at the end of the day.
Something signed by.
I argue. Yeah, either if it's an executive order, something passed by Congress. At the end of the day, it's signed by at the end of the day, it's signed by the president, unless obviously they have a veto proof majority. But I would argue no. Their policy isn't to uphold the law or follow the law. No, that's not their policy.
Okay, could you give me an example of what policy you disagree with that Donald Trump has put into place in regard to?
Shift.
Excuse me?
That's a burden shift. You made a claim that you support his policy. I was making a reference in terms of like something that he signed at the end of the day, whether it be something passed through Congress or an executive order, and then he said, okay, well, that's not the definition of policy. Okay, sure. Then you said it's a policy of the administration to uphold the law. I disagreed. So prove your claim that it's a policy of the administration to uphold the law. I can prove my claim as to why I disagree. The Epstein files, the violation of the First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, 10th Amendment, 14th Amendment. He's considering violating the 22nd and the 25th Amendment, the Election Clause, the Take Care Clause, the Declare War Clause, the Appropriation Clause, so on and so forth.
Is Donald Trump violating the immigration law as it's written?
Yes.
How so?
Due process.
Due process. What due process?
What
due process is he not affording people who are eligible for deportation?
Yeah, the right to a fair trial, fair and speedy trial, under the 4th and 5th and 14th Amendment.
Can you show me in Section 8 of USC where it dictates that a person who comes into the government or into the country by excuse me?
I cite the Constitution, 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendment.
Right, but you understand that the USC 8, it explicitly says that a person who enters the country illegally is immediately due for deportation. They are immediately eligible for deportation. Do you understand that, right?
So how do we determine?
Do you understand? Do you understand that or not?
Question? I need a clarifying question. How do we determine whether someone is eligible for deportation? Go ahead.
If you came into the country illegally, it is apparent. It is apparent because you
the right to a free and speedy trial, fair speedy trial.
It is apparent because you have not registered your entry at a port of entry.
And how do we determine that?
When somebody registers at a port of entry, there's documentation that they entered the country through a port of entry.
They didn't register though.
The absence of the record of their port of entry.
So absence of evidence is evidence?
Yes.
Okay. That's just ridiculous. A and B, how do we determine that there's absence of evidence?
Hold on just a second. You're just going to toss...
How do we determine that there's absence of evidence?
Hold on. You're going to just talk past...
How do we determine that there's absence of evidence?
You are going to
down a line of dialogue. How do we determine that there's absence of evidence?
You're going to talk past the fact that if a
determine absence of evidence?
So you don't want to address the fact.
That's great.
You don't want to address the point.
Absence of evidence.
You don't want to address the point, sir?
I'm addressing the point that you made initially, and I'm doing an investigative procedure into your view. How do we determine whether or not there is absence of evidence? How do we determine that?
Well, in the case of somebody coming through a port of entry, if they're seeking asylum, if they're seeking temporary
evidence. How do we determine that there's absence of evidence?
Are you just going to interrupt me and not allow me to give you the response?
If you're not staying on track and answering the question, yes, stay on track.
Yeah, I understand you're having a hard time following along. When a person goes through a port of entry, when they come into the country, their documents are given to them indicating that they came into the country. Their ID is taken or their name is taken. There's a record created for them entering into the country. Do you agree or disagree with that premise?
I agree.
Okay, so if there is an absence of a record of somebody coming in through a port of entry, and there is no documentation that they came through a port of entry, that makes them eligible for immediate deportation. Do you agree with that premise or not?
I don't agree nor disagree. How do we determine that there is absence of said evidence? That's the question that I'm asking you.
Who is we? You mean you and I?
Are you dumb or are you dumb?
Is that your response to my simple question? Are you referring to you and I?
That was a simple question. That was a dumb question. No, not you and I. Pretty dumb.
Okay. Do you think that
a pretty dumb question deserves a pretty dumb answer?
Okay. Well, I understand that you believe that. I'm just trying to make a point that you acknowledge that the government, CPB, keeps a record when people come into the country through a port of entry, but you're refusing to acknowledge that when there is an absence of that.
How do we know that they're? How do we determine that they're here illegally? How do we determine the absence of evidence? How?
USC Section 8 dictates that if a person comes into the country not going through a port of entry and not registering their presence in the country, that is an absence of the record. And if there's an absence of the record,
how do we determine that there is an absence of said evidence? It's a very simple question.
Do you not understand that they have a database of the people that enter into the country?
Okay, they have a database of people who enter into the country. How does that answer my question?
That's the answer to your question. If they look in that database,
how do we determine of if there's absence of evidence is looking at the database? How do we look at how do they look at the database? And how do we determine if that database is accurate?
Are you trying to infer that the CPB doesn't keep accurate records of the people that enter into the country?
Innocent until proven guilty. That applies with any violation of the law. Any violation. Until you are proven to be guilty, you are innocent. So if you are being accused of being here illegally and violating immigration law, you are innocent until proven guilty. That is what the West stands for. The Constitution in the 4th, 5th, and 14th Amendment says that undocumented immigrants have some limited constitutional rights and due process is applied to them.
Okay, so can you explain to me then how immigration attorneys who help people who have come into the country by not entering through a port of entry, and they help people who are here in an illegal status, you qualify for an illegal status if you did not enter through a port of entry and register your presence. You understand and acknowledge that?
How does that have anything to do with what I just said?
Do you acknowledge that or not?
How does that have anything to do with what I just said?
I'm trying to establish whether you acknowledge that or not. If you don't acknowledge that,
what is the relevance?
Fine. It's relevant because an immigration attorney who takes those cases navigates that process by letting their family know, by coordinating the return
to their
country of origin. It is automatic eligibility for deportation. That's the part that you are not acknowledging. It's in USC.
Do you disagree that
Section
it's
8.
innocent until proven guilty? Do you disagree?
Yes. That's why they have administrative hearings.
So you disagree with innocent until proven guilty, right? So you disagree with the core value of the West?
That's not what I said. I
literally
agree.
Said, yes, I disagree that it's innocent until proven guilty.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. I misspoke.
You misspoke. You agree it's innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, right?
You are innocent until proven guilty. But we have administrative. We have administrative process.
To be clear, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, right?
Yes.
Okay. That includes.
Are you aware that we have? Are you aware that we have immigration judges and we have an administrative process?
Of the law, yes or no?
Yes. Are you aware that we have an administrative process with the CPB that they have judges?
It would be the case if
are you aware of that?
Immigration law, they are innocent until proven guilty. With what?
Are you aware of that?
You're a low IQ individual that knows nothing.
Are you aware that the CPB has administrative process and they have immigration judges that hold administrative hearings for these cases? Yes or no? Do they have administrative hearings, yes or no?
Sure.
Okay. And when that administrative hearing is held and it is determined that they came into the country illegally, they are eligible for deportation. It takes 5 minutes. Immigration lawyers handle those cases every single day.
Sure.
So do you disagree with that?
So hold on. Just give me the first premise and the second premise again, and give me your conclusion.
You made the argument that the Trump administration violates current immigration law by deporting people without due process. Yes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I am contending that there is a due process that under Section 8 of USC, people who come into the country are immediately eligible. I'm sorry, people who come into the country by illegal means, avoiding ports of entry and avoiding registering their presence in the country. You can come into the country and avoid a point of entry, and you can still register your presence in the country. But if you fail to do that and you are
You're
apprehended,
just again. I didn't need the whole conversation recapped. I just needed a premise 1 and premise 2. This is not premise 1 and premise 2. I can point to you to so many instances of people's rights being violated when it comes to them being deported, like Kilmar, Burger Garcia, Mahmoud Khalil, so on and so forth, right? Like I can point to you to so many instances of
you
them
mean all of
violating
the
judges'
people who
orders.
actually got due process and you just disagreed with the outcome?
Kilmar Burger Garcia did not get due process.
Did he not? Did he not get several hearings?
He went to all of those hearings. Yes.
Was there not were there not several orders made by several
2019.
judges?
That was in 2019. We're talking about in 2025 when it was picked up.
Does due
and when
process
it
have
was
an
deported.
expiration date?
We're referencing his deportation, right? 2019 was when he came
due
here
process
legally
have an
and
expiration
had
date?
the order withholding of removal, right? In reference that he can't be deported to El Salvador, even though the Trump administration that deported him to El Salvador, right? The Supreme Court ruled that this was illegal.
Sure, absolutely, and I'm not arguing
so
that.
How is that? If something is illegal, if something the administration did was illegal, then how do you make the claim that they are upholding law and order?
I never made the claim that they don't make mistakes. If you would have started with that as your contention, sure, I would have agreed with you. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Okay, so we can agree that the Trump administration violates the law.
With this as an example, yes, but to make a blanket statement that every single deportation is ineligible
Did I say every
to be
single deportation?
I am making a statement. I am saying that if you claim that every deportation, I asked you specifically, I asked you specifically, do you believe that the Trump administration is violating immigration law with the way they're deporting people? Did I not ask you that?
Violating. That doesn't mean that every single deportation is legal. Like some deportations are illegal, like the Kilmar Garcia deportations, and other deportations are not illegal and completely legal. Do I disagree with them? Sure. Doesn't mean that they're illegal just because I disagree with them. I'm not the right.
Okay, did I misunderstand you? Do you agree with Section 8 of the U.S. Code?
I don't agree with deporting undocumented immigrants.
Okay, and that's fine. You can have that contention with the law, but that is the law.
And I think that some deportations that Trump did are legal, but I can point to some that are illegal.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, we can sit and we can talk about the minority all day long, but the reality is...
Can you name me one person who was illegally deported under Joe Biden or Obama?
Well, of course I can't, because it wasn't smeared all over the news for weeks and weeks, because it wasn't an issue.
So there is no.
Are you making it? Is that true? Is that universally true? If there isn't an instance that's in the media, that it's just not true that there was one?
You said absence of evidence is evidence.
I think that if we got on Google real quick and we looked up, just asked that question, is there anyone who was illegally deported during the Biden administration, we would probably find examples. There's probably a stat for it.
You can swipe out of the app and find one.
Are you saying that an example doesn't exist?
I'm saying I'm agnostic.
Okay, so you've not actually looked. So you've actually not looked into it.
I'm saying I'm agnostic, and I'd like you to provide someone who was illegally deported under the Joe Biden administration.
But I didn't make that claim. You asked that question.
Yeah. Okay. So do you affirm or deny? I can ask you true or false. True or false? Biden didn't illegally deport any single undocumented immigrant. True or false?
That he didn't illegally deport them?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked into it.
So that's fair.
The only reason,
I don't know if it's true.
The only reason I know about the one that you brought up is because it was all over the news.
Sure. Listen, is there anything else you want to talk about? I'm about to get off here. I'm tired.
Nah, man. You have a good day. Thanks for having me.
Decent conversation. I'll be live tomorrow probably if you want to finish the conversation. I'll have tomorrow's Saturday.
Sunday.
I'll be tomorrow's Sunday. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, like 5 p.m. if you want to finish the conversation. Talk about something else. I'm going to talk for immigration for like half an hour. So I appreciate you coming up here. Take care.
All right, you too.
I mean, that's what conversations are. There's going to be disagreements, right? That was like one of the more reasonable ones that like aren't insane. So I'm tired. Wow. Appreciate you guys for pulling through YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. PST. You guys take care. Have a good one.